The Right Side with Doug Billings.
Hi, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the set of my show, The Right Side. Here we go. Today, before we begin, YouTube. Don't forget to head over to YouTube and subscribe. I was put in YouTube jail for 4 years, ladies and gentlemen. I got an email about 2 months ago saying, hey, we made a mistake, Mr. Billings. Come on back to YouTube, will you please? So I'm back over there at The Right Side, Doug Billings. Follow me on YouTube. Subscribe over there. It doesn't cost you a penny. I'd never charge you to watch the program. Doug Billings, right? The Right Side. At The Right Side, Doug Billings on YouTube. Thank you very much. All right, that's your homework assignment. Today I want to talk to you about some place and some things that the media will almost never go, and they will almost never discuss these with you. I'm not going to go to an argument. I'm not going to go to the outrage, but I want to go to the structure underneath all of the outrage and the arguments that you see in the nation today. Because I think every political fight that you see, every court case, every protest, every foreign policy headline, all of it, it's really about one question. Who has the authority to decide? And more importantly, how does that authority become restrained? How do we restrain it? Have you ever thought about the architecture of authority, ladies and gentlemen? So there is something uniquely American about this particular topic. In most countries, authority flows in a straight line from the top down. But in the United States, power was designed on purpose to move in two directions at the same time. Upward from the people and downward through institutions. And that is what federalism, at its core, really is. It's not a legal footnote. It's not some living system that divides power on purpose. The founders didn't do this because they trusted government. They did it because precisely they did not trust government. So they split authority between the federal government and the states, the executive and the legislature, and the courts and the people themselves. And here's really, I think, the teaching point about all of that. The Constitution doesn't just tell government what it can do, it tells government what it cannot do. And that distinction, ladies and gentlemen, is the difference between power and liberty. And so we see global power and quiet geography in the news today, don't we? Think about that. Global power and quiet geography. We know, I think most of us, power doesn't just live in speeches and in laws. Power lives in places. Take Greenland, for example. It's in the news, big time. Cold place, remote, very quiet. But it's strategically positioned between North America, Europe, and the Arctic. For most of history, the ice in that area was a barrier, but now it's becoming a corridor. Shipping lanes, rare earth minerals, energy routes, defense positioning, and so forth. It's very important. And when quiet places suddenly matter, it's not because they changed, it's because the world around them did. And here's the bigger idea about all of that. Influence today isn't just about military strength. It's about access, and it's about routes, and it's about relationships. And those relationships shape everything from global trade to the cost of goods to the technology that you carry around in your pocket or your purse. And when we've got to also think about energy, stability, and the structural power that surrounds those things if we're talking about analysis of the state of play in current-day America. The Middle East, we've got to talk about it because over a century, this region has acted like a pressure valve for the global economy, not just because of politics, but because of energy. I think that's obvious when we say it out loud, but not a lot of people say it out loud. Oil and gas are not just commodities. They're the bloodstream of modern-day life, transportation, food supply, manufacturing, even healthcare systems depend on it. And then you enter in energy uncertainty, well, then everything becomes more expensive at that point. Energy is a form of global currency. Now, it's not in your wallet, but it's in international relationships, and that's important. You can, if you can supply it, you gain leverage. If you can protect the routes that carry it, you can gain trust. And trust in global systems is more powerful than force. Believe it. So that brings us to the Insurrection Act. What it is and what it isn't. I'm going to talk about it. It's in the news, isn't it? You've probably heard a phrase in the news. Very dramatic. President Trump may, in fact, enforce or invoke the Insurrection Act. Oh, no. What is it? Well, it's not modern, I'll tell you that. It dates back to 1807, ladies and gentlemen, the early years of the American Republic. It exists as a constitutional backstop. It's a last resort. It's not a political weapon. And it's not a routine tool that's in our Republic tool chest. The key distinction here, the Insurrection Act does not create new power. It activates federal responsibility. It sits at the intersection of state sovereignty, federal authority, civil order, and individual rights. And that's why it's controversial. Absolutely. Not because it's mysterious, but because it forces the country to confront the tension between liberty and order. And in a free society, that tension, ladies and gentlemen, is not a flaw. It is the point of our federal Republican government. The markets and confidence in you, it's all related to everything that we've spoken about here in this edition of The Right Side. And I want to close by bringing all of this down to something very personal, ladies and gentlemen, your money. Because the markets don't respond to the headlines that we see. The markets respond to confidence. Confidence in the stability of rules, the predictability of institutions, the reliability of long-term growth. And when confidence is strong, investments move. Absolutely so. And when confidence is weak, that kind of investment waits. So the final thought to carry you through the day and the week here as we go on this Sunday afternoon, a strong country isn't just defended by borders and ballots. It's sustained by informed citizens. Informed citizens who understand how power, markets, and responsibility connect to one another. And they do. And in America, they connect on purpose, with intention. Subscribe to this channel, ladies and gentlemen, on YouTube at The Right Side, Doug Billings. You can follow me on all of the podcast audio platforms that are out there. Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, the whole thing. I'm out there on all of them. But I want you to go to YouTube. At The Right Side, Doug Billings. You'll see 175 or so thousand people waiting to join you and to welcome you. At The Right Side, Doug Billings on YouTube. Ladies and gentlemen, we're in this together. You got to believe it, for the Republic. Cheers.
The Right Side with Doug Billings.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to the set of my show, Doug Billings. Hey, my good friends at EMP Shield, that's electromagnetic pulse, in case you're from Raytown, Missouri. Electromagnetic pulse could wipe out your home electrical system, could wipe out your vehicle. And thanks to the radical liberal agenda that was put forth under Administrator Biden and Vice President Harris, there are lots of people in this country who want to do us harm. And maybe an EMP device would be their chosen weapon. But EMP Shield gives you a device that can protect you. This little baby here goes on your home outlets, a computer, a router, whatever you want to protect. And then they also have a larger model like this. You can still hold it in the palm of your hand that goes on your vehicle battery so that you can get out of trouble from point A to point B. EMPshield.com. Promo code Doug, ladies and gentlemen. Save yourself. Save your property. EMPshield.com. Promo code Doug. We're in this together, folks. Believe it. For the Republic. Cheers.
The Right Side with Doug Billings.